It's the NFL on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Denver Broncos and the Houston Texans. And it comes your way next on Madden NFL 25.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their rookie QB, the young man out of Oregon.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, second down.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Second down and 6 now. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Harvey. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with third down and just a yard to go.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Up the middle they go. It's Harvey, and he's going to have a Broncos first down as he'll get this up to about the 42. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. They'll go play action with Nix. Pass over the middle tipped, but he still brings it in. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
But when you go on the road, you're hoping to make plays that will take the crowd out of the game. I think that's a pretty good example right there.
Yeah, a break like that never hurts, especially in the first quarter. Maybe help to set the tone a little bit.
Could settle them down, get them into the game a little bit easier without that crowd really being against them.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 30-yard line. The slot man in motion right. Now they'll fake the jet sweep here and throw off play action. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Boy, no problems getting down the field here on this opening drive. They've looked really sharp in the early going, and they've come up with some big plays already. Here's another that's going to set up 1st and goal.
To throw, here's Nix. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown from 4 yards out. And the Broncos are on the board first here this afternoon. Those are the drives that prove a lot. You got a rookie quarterback, Charles. You're on the road, takes him down, throws the touchdown pass.
And in a game like this, with, as you described, a rookie quarterback, the team usually says, okay, we got to take care of this guy. We got to protect him. But when he goes out and plays like this on the first drive on the road, he doesn't have to say, I'm here to be your leader. They just need to follow him.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And you'd think as a young QB there'd be some nerves leading an offense out to start a game, but haven't seen any sign of them right now. And speaking with him earlier this week, sensed that the pressure wouldn't get to him. He feels comfortable being the face of this offense and shouldering the expectations on game day, even if he doesn't quite have the years of experience other quarterbacks do.
Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen one touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
Here's 2nd and 10. A first carry here for Joe Mixon. And he'll get this to about the 34, a gain of just 3.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running.
Pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Here's 3rd and 7. Throwing now is Stroud. And incomplete here to bring up 4th down as the rookie couldn't haul it in.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. And Marvin Mims deep for Denver. Fielded at the 20. And a 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down. And if his coaches are correct, we're going to see a lot more runs like that from this young rookie going forward.
And you know, slapping each other on the back up in the booths right now? The scouting department, because they really recommended this guy highly, and he's justifying their faith in him.
Right back to him on 1st down. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
From the 46, here's the 2nd down and 4. To throw is Nix. To the right side and intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30.
Well, this is something we've seen before, partner. We've seen a defense bait a rookie, pretend to leave a window open, and then the defensive back jumped it as soon as the ball was released. Big-time play. They love taking advantage of the youngsters, and in this case, it paid off well.
So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. And they'll take over here following the interception with a chance to tie the ball game. It's 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Play action. Stroud now. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. Flexing his muscle at the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So the Broncos coming out now. Been a little bit of an interesting start. The first drive for him, Charles, they had the passing touchdown. The second drive, he threw the interception. So we'll see what this 3rd drive of the ball game brings.
Yeah, it's kind of a tiebreaker, isn't it? I mean, that's the tough part for them and for him because, yeah, things went really well in that first one, not so well on the second one. He wants to get back to what he did to get this game going.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
From the 33, here's a 2nd and 8. Here's Nix. That's caught. It's Marvin Mims. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Throwing Nix. Got a man here, it's Bryant. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Broncos are able to widen their advantage. Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now and we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces to see the present making plays and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
Lots to try to add the PAT. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Houston set to take over. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And Stroud now to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. The end result, 21 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. From the gun, a give to Mixon. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
This is 2nd and 8. Stroud off the play fake. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
Stroud sets up the play action. This is caught. It's Kirk. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A gain of 32 that time.
Seems like all the fireworks in this first quarter have been on the other sideline, but here they're saying, hey, we've got some explosive guys on our side too. And that's a big play in a game that's looking like it might be full of big plays.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Stroud. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Dalton Schultz from 4 yards out. And the Texans have got it back to within a score. The touchdown all set up by the big play 1 snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play. Got the momentum going, right? You create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it was the tight end Dalton Schultz on the touchdown reception to cap the drive. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Denver's offense ready to go again. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Nix to the air. He'll air this one out for Mims. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, it was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now it's Nix. He'll connect on the out route with Ingram. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He targets Ingram for another grab. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 2 yards to go, 2nd down. Working out of the gun is Nix. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. 2nd and 10. Back to the air with Nix. Quickly into the hands of Mims. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Nix. Touchdown, Broncos! A great effort there. Doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Broncos are able to stretch out their lead. And this is turning out to be something to monitor as this game goes along. That's now 3 touchdown catches for him here in this first half alone. Lots of look to add the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. And the Texans set to come onto the field. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football. From the 35, here's a 2nd and 7. As they've got it as we resume action. Inside handoff to Mixon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here comes 3rd down and 7. Now Stroud. Toward the sideline, intercepted. Inside the 10, and he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick six. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did and came through with a big-time pick six.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And the lead is up to 18 now. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And able to get this out to the 25. The Texans offense set to regain possession. And remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Stroud coming right back after the pick six. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on second down.
Mixing up the middle. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. Defensively, they were in the 3-4, and that O-line just dominated the D-line there.
Let's go with a verbal telestrator here because that D-line has a nose over the center, and it has the two defensive ends over the offensive tackles. That means the guards don't have anyone over the top of them. That creates a natural bubble inside where they sprint upfield, take on the inside linebackers, and if the back hits it fast enough, there should be space to run.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Stroud looking to throw. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And that's a lesson learned from the previous drive. Last time he forced one, and it turned into a pick 6. Here, he knows better, and he just throws that one away.
The offense on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd down and 12. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. They'll look to set up his blockers. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Broncos offense and Bo Nix getting set for this next possession. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Nix. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. A short throw to Ingram. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a 1st down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Nix from the shotgun. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2. Operating from the gun, Nix. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Marvin Mims from 6 yards away. And the Broncos are able to add on to their first half lead. So the numbers are starting to pile up here early on. We have yet to reach halftime, yet that is already now 4 touchdown passes. Lutz will look to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
But one thing we know about RPO throws, they don't take long to develop. He had him wide open to the outside, hit him with it, but I think his eyes were looking downfield trying to see that open grass. Ends up dropping it. That's a missed opportunity.
Here's a give to Mixon. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. Nothing too fancy, just a carry up the middle, but a successful carry up the middle against this 3-4 defense.
And to be able to do that, what do you have to control? The nose guard, right? Got to be able to move him. Otherwise, you're not getting anything up the middle. Nice job by the center. Got a little help from one of his friends playing guard.
Back to Mixon on first down. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
2nd and 9 from the 44. Here's Stroud. His throw incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Through the middle of the field. And finally marked down at the 23. 33 yards that time.
He scored their touchdown earlier, and this had a chance to be another. This secondary scrambling for answers, looking at each other, trying to figure out who is going to put the clamps on this guy, because right now he's absolutely shredding them.
Stroud to throw it. Tried for Kirk, and he's got him on the crossing route. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped it to 1.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Mixon will take this one in for a Texans touchdown.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And that'll cut the lead down now to 18. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Broncos offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. To throw is Nix. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Texans will take over. Houston's offense taking over again. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing now is Stroud. Connecting on the out route here with Higgins. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the 1st down.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. Here's a 2nd and 8. Operating from the gun, Stroud. And the Broncos get there and take him down. DJ Jones. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and forever. Looking to throw. Stroud. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And you get a look at the numbers, they don't even tell the whole story. This has been a tremendous performance to this point. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Harvey. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. He's having a big game through the air, and sometimes those smart decisions just dump it off. That's how you continue to have big games through the air.
I agree totally. That's a great analogy, a great way to put it, because he doesn't get too greedy where everything has to be pushed downfield, trying to create big plays that aren't there. You dump it off and take that nice gain, and things add up, and now you have the kind of game he's having.
They get 5, and it will go ahead and move the chains.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
To throw, here's Nix. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Here's Nix. And this one complete again to Mims. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. Throwing Nix. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. A short throw to Ingram. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Back to throw again. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Broncos first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, this from 48. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. The Texans going to take over here to start quarter number 3. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already, they need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Stroud sets up the play action. Dumps it off to Mixon. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and it's 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And Stroud now to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Higgins. So the completion good for 7 there. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 45 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
First run of the game here for Dameon Pierce. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd down and 9. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
The Texans send the punter out. He'll boot it away from about his 35. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Off the play fake, here's Nix. And that is incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now a handoff up the middle. Harvey. And he'll get this past the 20 as he gets about 4.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Here's 3rd and 6. Now it's Nix. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
They'll run on first down. It's Harvey. He'll get this up to about the 44.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Harvey. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. Up the middle they go. Harvey. Now they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 66 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A good pickup there, a 22.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Working out of the gun is Nix. Toward the pylon, but it's incomplete.
Not too many missteps in the red zone thus far. He was going for his 5th touchdown pass. His man couldn't shake free there, but boy, you know he's going to take another shot before this one's over.
Yeah, exactly, because you know 3 is good, 4 is excellent. You get 5. That's a whale of a game. Nix to the air. Quickly into the hands of Mims. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Yeah, the Broncos are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
They'll look to throw again. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Bo Nix taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Broncos are able to add on to that lead. I'm pretty sure that was a passing play, but he took off pretty quickly and ran with it.
Love his decisiveness on it, because you're exactly right. He was supposed to go back in the pocket and survey the field and throw the football. But when that hole opened, he just said, forget it, let's go. And boy, did that work out well.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And that'll increase their lead to 28. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
He'll be dropped at the 30. The first broken tackle was there, but couldn't bust free.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
2nd and 6. A handoff to Mixon. Yeah, he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On the delay, it's Mixon. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 62 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Play action. Here's Stroud. Eluding the pressure right. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 44-yard line. hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
2nd and 10. Thanks for tagging along with us here from Houston, Texas. Mixon on the toss right. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
When coaches stress their defense being physical, they don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
Now Stroud. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. The Texans send the punter out as he's on for the 5th time here today. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And we get another look now at this Broncos offense. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Harvey, and he's going to have a Broncos 1st down as he's able to take this up to the 30-yard line.
Well, you know they had a 3rd down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Harvey, and he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a 1st.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Looking middle, and that's complete. And he's brought down. Denver has a 1st down on the 15-yard play. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Houston. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and make sure he spills it for a small gain.
2nd down and 8. They'll try the left side. Harvey. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on 1 run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
That is caught, and he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 28. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
They'll go play action with Nix. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On play action, here's Nix. Connecting with Burton here over the middle. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been outstanding. 7 first downs and 8 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Back to the air with Nix. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Touchdown. Marvin Mims. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Broncos start to open this lead even wider here in the 4th. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter. And the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call. Well, trailing here in the 4th quarter, and that personal foul, that only adds to the hole that they're currently standing in.
Yeah, absolutely a bad job of just losing your cool and letting your anger take over. Mistakes like that, not going to help you at this stage of the game.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The football going back over now to the Houston Texans. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. Stroud. Over the middle, he gets it to Collins. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Stroud to throw it. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
4th down, 4th quarter. Here's Stroud. That pass caught by Kirk. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, give them credit. They're going to stay and fight this out to the end. 4th down, you've got to go for it. And they not only convert, but pick up some good yardage as well.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Stroud looking to throw. He's got his man. It's the tight end, Bryant Jordan. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And Mixon not going to get there. Running into a wall here, and they'll stop him short. Defensively, they rally the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's at 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right?
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Bryant Jordan from 21 yards away. And the Texans get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down to 28. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. But not that any of the points would be needed, but CD, they've got enough time left here. They could definitely score on this drive, maybe even an ensuing drive as well, if they really want to drive home this landslide victory.
Yeah, we're certainly about to see just how aggressive they want to be here down the stretch. And what some coaches do is they try and meet it halfway, meaning they want to continue to run their offense, but they'll put in a lot of backups to do it and then tell the opposing coach, hey, I had to get them some work too. I can't just let them sit over on the sidelines all the time.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Harvey, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans back out there and ready to go. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Got this into the hands of the tight end, Jordan. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Still 9 yards to go on 2nd down from the 27. Throwing now is Stroud. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. 2 yards on the pickup there. 3rd and 7 now.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the 1st down.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Here's Stroud. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Collins. And he is going to have a Texans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants this lead to stay right where it is.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
From the 43, here's a 2nd and 5. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
Here goes Stroud again. That's caught again by Schultz. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
A shotgun snap to Stroud. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Here's 2nd and 3. And Stroud now to throw. Open man is Kirk, complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 16. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Stroud working out of the gun. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Here's 2nd and 10. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 83 yards rushing here for Mixon. He's got a first down.
So after a run like that, I will guarantee that the head coach is saying to himself, maybe even over his headsets to the rest of the staff, where was that all game long? We needed that. That's the type of run we planned for going into the game. Didn't get much of that, but let's move it forward. Let's build on it, get ready for the next week, and let's go play.
3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. C.J. Stroud punching it in from a yard away. And the Texans get a bit closer.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And that'll cut the lead back now to 21. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it was C.J. Stroud who finished off that drive with a touchdown run. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Well, CD, this is the ideal situation in the fourth quarter. You come out here late, not much time on the clock, with a comfortable lead, and put the final nail in the coffin.
Yeah, this offense, all game long, they've been powerful, they've been dangerous. You're exactly right. They can end this one on their own terms.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. So long from Houston.